CVA's AccuraSeries, Agara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust-proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment's being sponsored by JLB Sportsman, custom woodworking and laser engraving. Located right here in Leoma, Tennessee, give owner Jim Brewer a call at 931-213-1455. All right, everybody, this next segment's being sponsored by our friends over at Courtney's Restaurant and Catering. You guys can find them at 4066B North Mount Juliet Road in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And give Tom a call for all of your catering and delivery needs at 615-754-7548. All right, welcome back to the studio. As promised, we have got tonight's Shooting Straight segment live for you guys. So, Tim, let's get it going.
All right. Well, you know that this weekend's Father's Day, and I wanted today's Shooting Straight message to be something geared toward dads, geared toward parents. And I brought an arrow, one of my arrows from my bow and arrow, and you know, as an archer, we try our best to take care of our arrows. Even when we're practicing, we want to make sure that they stay clean, to keep the weight just right. We always check the nocks, fletching, make sure everything's right. As an archer, when we get ready to make the shot on that big buck, we have already pre-planned everything. We've cut the paths to make sure that the flight path of the arrow is going to be just right. And we do everything that we can to make sure that when we release this arrow, it's a successful shot, right?
Yeah,
as an archer, that's what we do.
That's what it's all about.
The Bible tells us in Psalm 127 verse 4, it says that children are like arrows in the hand of a mighty warrior. That children are like arrows. And what the Lord is telling us through that is, as an archer, we do everything that we can to take care of our arrows, that when that moment comes and we release them, that they'll be successful. And as a parent, we've got to do that too. We've got to take good care of our children, provide everything that we can for their success. And we've got to try to point them in the right path, because when we release that arrow, when we release our kids out into the world, we want them to be successful. And it's our job to make sure that they're pointed in the right direction. Make sure that they're going in a way that's going to be successful for their life, not just success in the world, but success through a relationship with God and His Son Jesus Christ. So that's our responsibility. And you know, earlier I said something about dads. Dads are really important to be able to do this. Mm-hmm. Statistics tell us that if the children are the main church goers in the family, and there's a lot of families that just the kids will go to church.
Absolutely.
If the children are the main church goers in the family, less than 10% chance that entire family would eventually all go to church together. If the mother or the wife is the main church goer, it goes up a little bit, but it's still less than 20% chance that the whole family will eventually go to church together. But if the man, if the dad, if the father goes, over 90% chance that entire family is going to go to church together and have a relationship with the Lord. So that says something, you know, and God made it to where we're the ones responsible for making sure our arrows are pointed in the right direction, making sure that we are leading our family the right way. So my challenge this week, I always do a challenge every week. Yeah. So my challenge for everybody is this: dads, it's Father's Day coming up. Be able to check the paths that you're pointing your arrows, your kids. Make sure that you're doing everything that you can to give them a successful shot when you release them into the world, because that's our responsibility. One day as dads, we're gonna have to answer for that. I believe one day when we stand before the Lord, one of the questions He's going to ask us is, "What'd you do with your kids?"
Yeah.
You know, and so that's our responsibility. So dads, I challenge you this week. It's Father's Day, so let's make sure our paths are clear and we're pointing our kids in the right direction.
Yeah. Great message. I mean, absolutely. Took me a second to talk there. I was so wound up in watching you. That is a wonderful message. We really appreciate that tonight. And just kind of to touch on what you're saying too, it's once you release that arrow,
yeah,
it's released.
Yeah,
you know.
And you say that, it's funny because I actually preached this message in my church, and of course it was quite a bit longer than what it is now. And I actually shot my bow in church. And I remember
that might be a first. We need to check on that.
I remember when I did that,
right
right before I shot, I looked at my wife and I said, honey, this is either going to be a really great thing, or I'm going to be fired right after church. So, but I did that, and I preached that message, and then right after church, I had an older gentleman come up to me, and he said, you know what, I've already released my arrows, and I didn't point them in the way they should go. What do I do? And it was just amazing how the Lord just gave me the answer right then. All of us as archers, we know we've had those times when we release the arrow, a twig or a bug or a gust of wind is going to move that path. You know, if we've already released our arrows, God's still in control of all those things. We can just pray and ask God to breathe on them, just to send that wind to redirect their path. Just because our arrows are released doesn't mean it's too late. We can still try our best to help them get in the right direction.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Garrett, let's talk to you for just a minute. Garrett's got to sit over there all night just be quiet. Now, your dad's had you in the outdoors your whole life. I know I've seen pictures of you doing it for forever, just like I did it. What do you think is your favorite outdoor? I mean, would you prefer to turkey hunt? Would you prefer to deer hunt? Fish? What is it that you really enjoy?
Duck hunting's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Waterfowl man, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to be one of those that's going to deer hunt till duck season opens. We ain't going to see him no more after that, right?
Yeah.
That's when deer hunting gets good. All them duck hunters leave us alone.
Yeah,
get out there
that's the way he
get
is.
to deer hunting.
First time I took him, the bug bit him. He loved it.
Well, you guys have a lot better duck hunting in West Tennessee than we do here in Middle, but we need to get to do duck hunt together. I'll come down there sometime and y'all can take me where there's some ducks at, and we'll go do some duck hunting.
That'd be good.
Well, guys, we're going to get ready to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have this week's calendar of events and some more Southern Wisdom Waters.